What's up, everybody? Today is Friday, and I want to talk about blind spots. In Lent, we want to get rid of our blind spots. We want to try to shore up our weaknesses. We want to get our hearts purified. And, I gotta let the Lord show me my blind spots. You gotta let Him show you your blind spots, because you can't see them on your own. That's why they're blind spots, right? So, in the parable from the gospel today, Jesus addresses the chief priests and the elders of the people. He gives them a parable. And at the end of it, he asks them a question, and they're like, this. And so Jesus responds basically, yeah, and that's how you are. Stop. The use of parables a lot of times can help us enter into the spiritual insight that we need, which we might otherwise be defensive against, right? So there's an example of this that is in the Old Testament where the prophet Nathan is addressing King David, right? And he tells him this parable about a man who, steals the lonely old man's sheep, where, this original guy has like tons of sheep, but he takes the man's one sheep. And David hears this and is just enraged, and he's like, that man ought to be put to death. And then the prophet Nathaniel, is like, that man is you. Or in other translations, you are the man, right? You are the man that deserves this punishment that you just, decided was just, David. And so today, Jesus, he does a very similar thing. He shares this parable and kind of draws in the elders of the people and the Pharisees and scribes. He draws them in, and then at the end they're like, oh, those men, they should be put to a wretched death. And Jesus shows them, well, that's what you're doing. You're doing what you just said is deserving of a wretched death. So maybe you could ask the Lord for a parable. Maybe you could ask Him for insight, for light, to see whatever it is that you may be defending yourself against, right? And the Lord is very gentle when we allow Him to be gentle, okay? I think he'll hammer us if we refuse, His grace for so long. Like, He'll hammer us in love, but if our hearts are hard, like, He'll hammer us. So if you want to avoid that kind of intense desolation, one way is to ask the Lord, show me my blind spots. Like, what is it, Jesus, that you are working on? Or what do you want to work on in my heart that I'm not getting, or that I'm refusing to turn over to you? In other words, God, what am I missing? What am I missing? So, what are you missing? What is the Lord saying to you today that maybe you're missing? It's something to pray about. Lord, show me my blind spots. And He'll always meet you there, right in the blind spot.